Hello, my name is Jack Rodzano, and today I'm going to be proposing to you my idea for a magazine I have called Smooth Tunes. The genre of Smooth Tunes is a jazz genre, and it is going to be based on upcoming jazz artists and just famous jazz artists in North London. The front cover will have the title, price, and an image of the main band being interviewed, and show the unique selling point, which I will mention later, but for now I'll quickly bring up. It is a poster. The double-page spreads will include interviews of different North London jazz bands and updates on productions of their latest songs, along with pictures. This will be 50 pages, which is quite short for a magazine, but when you're going to different jazz artists who are doing production, there's only so many you can do. I plan to use the same fonts for both digital and physical, unless they prove hard to read for one of the versions. I'll be using Dafont for the fonts, and I'll be using Phosphate, Prestige Elite Studio, and New Roman Times. Distribution. The physical version will be $4.99. It will be available in stores such as regular supermarkets, publishing stores such like magazines, and you can also go on the online website to get a subscription.
This is call two.
A subscription which will send physical copies directly to your door at a discounted price. The digital versions have two different iterations. The first one will be $2.99 and will not include a poster, and the second will include the poster and will be mailed to your front door, and that will cost $5.99. Age demographics. The primary audience will be adults aged anywhere from 30 to 50. This is because a lot of teenagers and young adults are more interested in pop and rap and don't necessarily listen to jazz, but adults usually do when working. The second age demographic will be elderly aged 65 plus. This is mostly because around their time, jazz was getting incredibly popular for them, and they might listen to it for the sake of nostalgia. Other demographics such as age, gender, ethnicity, and race, I will not be...
This is call three.
I will not be including, as I feel like this magazine should be intended for everyone, although that could be proved to be difficult later on. This is my main intention for demographics, for it to be for everyone. The marketing of this magazine will intrigue any buyers. I plan for the marketing to have the front cover mention that they will be guaranteed to find out something new in this jazz magazine, whether that be about a specific band, the jazz industry, or just jazz in general, such as the instruments. I also plan to have advertisements on apps such as Instagram and Facebook for the primary audience, as a lot of middle-aged adults usually go onto apps such as Instagram and Facebook, and newspapers for my secondary audience, as elderly people usually tend to read newspapers. My main idea is to interview jazz bands one at a time. However, I'll be interviewing them during production, then asking them to look back on what they've said after the success or publishing of their songs, to see how they react to what they originally thought was going to happen with their songs, their thoughts and whatnot. The purpose of this magazine is not only to educate and inform readers on their band's personal thoughts, but also learn something new about the jazz music industry. It will also promote and advertise bands featured in the magazine, such as when their next concerts or album releases. As mentioned before, there will be an interview during production and after the success. The first page will feature an interview. On the left side will be during production. On the right side of the first page will be about them looking back on what they've previously said and their reactions to it. The next page will feature images of the band member being interviewed at the time, which could also, although it is not the unique selling point, could be also used as a poster. The unique selling point is simple but effective. With each magazine, an exclusive An exclusive poster of the main band being interviewed will be included. Collectors and fans will love this, as collectors get to have something exclusive they can add to their collection, and fans get to put their favourite bands
Call 4.
on the walls. Colour schemes. The ones I've chosen will be blue, yellow and white. Blue for background, white for text, and yellow for the edges of the page. These are somewhat calm colours and nothing intense or eye-soaring, so they can have a relaxing time just reading this. Here is some sample material for the digital work, as long as some sketches I have quickly done, which are similar to the digital ones I have been doing. As you can see, the title will be at the top, along with major headlines, one of the selling points that they're likely to learn something new, an image of one of the main band members being interviewed, price, poster, and on the double page spread there'll be the title, bio explaining who the band is or who the band member is, along with the interview, then a bio about their success or what happened after publication of the song, and then them looking back on their work. As mentioned, an image of the jazz band member, along with an advertisement to promote the band or album or concert they are performing in. And that is my slide, thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to whiz through some bits before I hand over to other people. Well done, that was really, really good. Pages, so you said you're only going to have 50 pages, and I understand why. Let's ramp that right up so it's a direct competitor, because I really like the jazz idea. Just because there's only 20 jazz artists doesn't mean you only need one double page spread. If you look at Mojo, for example, one artist, they have 4 or 5 different pages all on that one artist. So it can become like a little mini biography within a magazine. So you can still reach the 120 pages. Does that make sense? Yeah. Up and coming famous artists like that. Fonts, actually include the fonts. I like that you knew them off by heart. That was quite impressive. Put the images up of the fonts so we can start to see the fonts that you want to use. Price, $4.99 for hard copy. Great. $2.99 online, yes, without the poster. You would definitely have it cheaper. $5.99 with the poster. You want to entice people to buy it. I would bring that down just a tiny little bit, even 50p. But also think, what else can you offer online? Because if you're paying more than getting the physical copy.
This is call 5.
But you're also getting a poster. Is there another thing online that you can get? Because older people will interact with a website as well. So what can you offer on a website, for example? Marketing was good. Really liked the article idea of talking about a song that they like in the production process, and then as it's come through on the other side, has it been successful? Is it what they intended? Really, really liked that idea. Colour scheme, you're crying out for some gold. It's jazz, you know, the jazz instruments, all gold, saxophone, the trumpet, all of that, the brass instruments. So let's get some gold and the connotations of that sort of wealth as well. But jazz is all about gold, so let's try and get some of that in it as well, along with some of your other colours. Okay? Any other questions or notes or comments? Ollie?
So are there jazz bands in North London?
A couple, yeah.
Loads of upcoming, loads of unsigned, and loads of jazz bands that are sort of semi-signed as well.
How are you going to get the information of these different jazz bands? How are you going to find out what to write the magazine about?
Well, we plan to, during production, we're going to ask them if they'd be willing to do an interview for the magazine to do their personal thoughts.
This is call 6.
If they come in, if they accept it, we'll go to them, proceed with an interview, and then just tell them that if they want, they could, if they can later on, come back just so that we can quickly get them to look back on what they said, or if they're unable to, just quickly email them what they've said before, and sort of get them to send back their reaction and thoughts on what they've previously said.
And Jack, you had a question?
Oh, I did
but I think I've forgotten it.
Fine. Okay, well done. Well done.